Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Midnight Show. Um, uh, it's the episode before the New Year's Day, which was the saying. May you be at war with your vices, at peace with your neighbors, and may this year and every year find you better than the last. I hope that
Okay.
sentiment explains a lot. I hope that 2024 is better than 2023 for everybody.
He won't be.
I hope everyone gets their, at least if your dreams don't come true, you get close enough that they seem like a reality. Um, there's no intro this week because I was feeling a little sick, so I was lazy. And fuck it. Will be joining us at some point, hopefully. But as always, we have the Midnight Crew. We have Angela Arriaga. Hey, Angela.
Hey guys.
I hope you feel better. Whatever this is going around. As a matter of fact, I think I caught it from you.
That would be an amazing trick.
We have James Colley. James.
No. And you don't have me. I have you.
Oh, God.
Do you now?
Oh, my.
It's explain to her, dear.
We have Terry Diamantis. Yo, Terry Bot.
This is how the Jews are going to take over the world. They're going to make everyone sick.
Hey.
And Jewish penicillin, huh?
Angela is collateral damage. They had to take you down to get to Tyr.
They infected her to infect me.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Oh,
Always
I'm sorry.
Mm.
I didn't mean to be the weapon.
But you were.
I learned it by watching you.
And last but not least, Rotncorpse. Yo, Rodden. There he is. And Mr. Catsbringer. Yo, what up, Catsbringer?
Hey, Will.
Just
Hey,
make
Rod.
you sweat. To our stream requires a little preparation, primarily litter box and libations.
There you go. What up, Travis? What was I about to say? So me and Rodney does the movie review channel, right? And the movie Get Out has a special place in that the chronology and history of that because it is the first movie he and I reviewed. So, and as a matter of fact, I think we went through all three Jordan Peele movies in the order they came out when we first started doing it. The movie, The Wicker Man, the old one, the original, also has a special place because that's when James first joined us in our movie reviews. And then Midsummer is when Andrew joined us. You picked the perfect time to do it, though.
That was a mind fuck, dude.
Yes, it was. I bring this up to say I was perusing Bing, the home screen of Bing and looking for stuff and whatnot, and I came across an article that infuriated me and pissed me off to no end. And we're gonna read it. I had no intention of doing this. It was spur of the moment. It was like acid rain from the sky. So you're all gonna enjoy listening to how Jordan Peele's a fucking idiot. Aside from that, how's everybody doing? Okay, we know how Angela's doing. I can't hear you,
Hello,
Roger.
James?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm trying to figure something out on my computer because it's being a dick.
Oh,
Well, that's how Rutten's doing.
Everybody's answering all at once.
Yeah.
don't answer now. Don't
mean,
don't leave
otherwise-
me hanging.
Other than my computer wanting to be an asshole for wanting to just keep continuously specific folders I'll go into, my file explorer just crashes, just closes itself. I don't think it's not a bad day. Got some new work shoes, bought a new gun today, had lunch with my dad, got to bullshit with him. So other than this, good day.
There you
Cool.
go.
Nice.
Nice
Anyone else?
stressful day. A little bit of cleaning, a little bit of housework, finishing off a couple projects. Today I kicked procrastination's butt
There you go.
at the last minute.
Okay.
I find the trick is when it comes to procrastination, just do it later. So I would procrastinate, but I don't feel like it. I'll do that later, and then you get everything done.
I'll procrastinate later. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Audrey. Yeah, but I'm glad we're all doing well. James, you want to add and contribute, or you just going to sit there breathing? Oh no, I think we lost James.
Muted.
Oh, I've got well, I don't really have anything per se, but if we want to go with what my tagline is about today, we can do that.
You're
I
what?
can't do what it says.
Oh,
His little blurb on his.
Yeah, beginning to
Beginning
understand
to understand child abuse.
Lord. Go ahead, James.
No, that's okay.
Let's wade into this minefield together. Everybody hold hands. It's going to be a deep one.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We can all agree that child abuse is bad.
Oh, sorry. Really quick. So I remember. Our friend James was visited by the ghost of Christmas. Broke his flock and got robbed. So he's falling on hard times and he needs a little help. You will find a link to his GoFundMe page in the not only the description but pinned to the top. Oh, hey James, I'm sorry about that.
Well, apparently you apologized too late. He's gone.
Well, that's fine.
Okay. The child abuse thing, his nephews are at his place because his sister's in town for the holidays.
Okay.
And it's
Anything
driving him nuts. I kind of shot your wad for you, bud.
Ew. Don't be shooting his wad. Got to swallow that. You don't shoot it. You swallow. Okay.
So what
Okay.
you do and don't do with it is not your business, sir.
Spitters are for quitters. Okay. Spitters are for quitters.
Okay. I'm back.
Okay. Go ahead, James.
Okay. We can all agree that child abuse is wrong.
Depends
But,
on the child, but mostly yes.
yeah. But when a child thinks that they're running shit, I have a problem with that.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's not abuse to put a child in its place.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're not allowed to, like if it's in a family and that shit happens, it's like, hey, we need to take a trip to the bathroom. But at the same time, when I see children that are unruly and misbehaving, and I'm going, I can understand child abuse. I can understand how a mother would run her children.
Understand why some bedrooms have locks on the outside?
Yes. Yes. I mean, I can understand it. I really can. I don't agree with it, but I can understand it.
From my understanding of things,
It's wrong, but I can empathize. I can't. I got four
say
kids
this
and I
as
can't
someone that
empathize with
doesn't have
that. But
children. I say this as someone that doesn't have children, but looking at how children are being raised nowadays versus how I was raised nowadays, you spare that fucking rod, you spoil that fucking child.
Yeah. If I had said half the shit that this little 8-year-old has said, I've been picking myself up off the floor and counting my teeth because the count would have changed.
Shit.
off the floor, I wouldn't have landed on the same street.
I'm not sure about counting the teeth, but yeah, I'd be picking myself up.
Look, I'll put it to you like this. I called my mama a bitch once. Now, mind you, I've said it playfully. You know, I didn't call her a bitch, but I came, you know, I danced the line. She said the word, but I shared the sentiment. But me directly calling her one, I think I was 28, and I was behind security at an airport when I said that. I didn't come home for a month.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Didn't know
I
she
said,
could throw a
Birdie.
frying pan that hard, did you?
Huh?
Didn't know she could throw a frying pan that hard, did you?
Yeah. No. Like I wasn't even like I stayed away for an entire month. Like I sent birdies to test the water and see how angry she was. Like, mind you, I was a grown man. Fuck that. I'm not crazy. When I realized what I said, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna die if I go home. Like, if I go home anytime soon, I'm dead. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna kill myself.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And
it's still gonna look like natural causes.
yeah.
Well, at least now I understand why you're alive.
Yes, because I'm smart enough to realize, yeah, I fucked up. Like so these kids nowadays, these kids nowadays don't have that. They don't have the fear of God that we have.
No. It's not fear of God. It's the fear of your parents.
Well, the fear of your parents.
Now you see, the parents are round one, God's round two, and that's even worse.
So you have these issues where you got kids acting up. Like there was, I put on my ex Twitter, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, I'm good.
I put on my Twitter or whatever the hell it was, the little girl pulling the food on the floor while everyone's eating. And I'm like, why isn't anyone fucking her up? Like, at some point, like, and then they're off, like, someone is filming that. Like, the fuck? Whip her ass.
Mm-hmm. But then again, that's just. Do you know who I find is most guilty about that sort of thing?
Who?
Parents who become grandparents.
Oh, yeah. When they have kids young and those kids have kids young
and then the grandparents spoil the kids.
No, it's not even about having grandkids young.
Just grandkids in general, but you get a mixed bag on that because it is part of the job description for grandparents to spoil the kids. Not without destroying any semblance of discipline in the household, though. But, what grandparent doesn't want their kid to go through what they had to go through raising kids? I'm going to show you just how bad a kid you were.
It works.
Yeah.
Exactly, Keith. Don't be your kid's best friend. Be their parent.
Correct.
Exactly.
Cannot be said enough.
Keith, my mother. Again, I'm using myself as the example. when I was an adult, she said, "I'm still your mother. I'll never be your friend." Like you talk to your friends any old kind of way. You say any old kind of thing to your friends. You express certain sentiments with your friends. You can't express that shit around me. I'm still your fucking mother. You can be 100. I will still be your mother. You know.
Tier. No, that's completely different than what you said before the show started.
What?
You said your fucking mother.
Oh, go
But-
hell.
Yeah.
Oh, James.
James Colley, knock it off.
Oh,
In the
God.
circle being broken.
My family tree's a wreath.
James, you need to leave your kinks out of this whole thing, okay?
Do what?
I said you need to leave your kinks out of this whole thing, okay?
Hey, it is not my fault that on all these documentaries that I've seen, that step parents are clumsy. I think they all have like inner ear issues.
Step parents are clumsy. Stepsisters get stuck in dryers. It's not
Yeah.
our fault. It happens.
Stepmoms get stuck underneath beds.
I learned that on
Yeah.
the Christian Science Monitor.
It's a great website. That you can find one of it.
Yes, lots of documentaries there.
Yeah. You know, I learned a lot. I put a poll in there. Wow, I guess I am a goober. I have decided to end the poll and have it that it's inconclusive. Executive fiat. Inconclusive. We'll have to do
Also
one later.
known as it didn't turn out the way he thought it would.
Most
I think
secure.
you're not just a goober, you're a goofy goober.
Oh, lordy.
Most secure poll ever. And it's inconclusive.
Rigged.
Yeah. It's your poll.
I'm gonna have to go through the data and see how it was rigged, but I'm pretty sure it was rigged.
Of course it was rigged.
You're
You
gonna
got
fail from the
Mr.
start.
Biden to help you out with it.
I didn't get Mr. Biden refuses to help me because I'm not black.
Well,
No,
if you can
no,
count
no,
the potato,
Eric,
then you're doing great.
a common misunderstanding here. You cannot vote for Biden and still be black. Because what Biden said was not, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. He said, if you don't know if you're voting for me or Trump, then you're not black.
Oh, well, okay. Well, see, I guess I am black because
So if you
I
knew who you were
voting.
voting for at that point between him and Trump, then you could still be black.
I think I'm black because I knew I wasn't going to vote for either of them.
See, there you go. Well, Terry, you
Well,
came
I
up
think
with
that
Abba, so
I think that excludes you, Terry, because you had to know you were voting for one or the two based on the way you made the statement.
Oh, okay. So I'm not black.
So if you said, hey, I'm voting for neither, you're not black.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
I guess I'm not black.
I don't get to be black. I don't get any oppression points.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, Terry. I've got enough oppression points for the both of us.
Okay.
You can't share oppression points, and if you can't get some.
You're already black. We established. You knew who you were voting for. You're black. You already have oppression points.
Yeah, but
I'll see if I can send some your way, but you work for the government, so
let me look into that. I think I can get a discount and get them transferred over quickly. You know, because I work for the government, I can facilitate this shit.
no, I said I don't want to facilitate any oppression in the government. That's already oppressive enough.
That's true. That is true. All right, so let me pull up the article and we can see how dumb Jordan Peele is fucking being.
What's he done now?
Huh?
What's he done now?
We're about to find out. There's an article in the private chat.
Yeah, in the private chat.
Is
there's
it
an
written by
article.
Jordan Peele?
No, but
It's an interview
It's a statement he made.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's the downside of making him sweat it out. I wasn't early enough to get all the links in the private chat. Oops.
Mm.
Wait a minute, I can put it back up there for you. I'm sorry, Will. Copy.
Well, it was my fault for being last minute.
It's all good. It should be up in there now. It'll be in the archives. So, Get Out. The sunken place really places the sunken place. Real meaning explained by Jordan Peele.
Called after the fact retconning.
Yeah. All right. The sunken place and Get Out is a metaphor for marginalization of Black voices in cinema and society as a whole. The sunken place represents a state of powerlessness and oppression, illustrated by the struggles faced by Black artists and storytellers. Chris's escape from the sunken place is a symbolic act of resistance, using cotton as a tool to reclaim a symbol of oppression and survive systemic oppression.
In that situation, then he didn't actually survive or escape the sunken place. He just failed to get brought back to it.
Yeah.
Like, their own fucking analogy is retarded.
It really is. And that's
Just admit, I would rather have Jordan Peele just admit, hey man, it's not that deep.
Yeah, but if you look at, all right, if you look at everything that Jordan Peele's been through, or not been through, but he's done, how can he say he's the marginalized Black voice? He had a successful Key and Peele show. Like, he was one of the writers there. He has a successful movie.
He's
like,
had several successful movies.
Yeah, he has several successful movies. And to come back, oh, I'm marginalized. Like, how are you fucking marginalized? How are Black voices marginalized or oppressed or whatever in today's day and age when they won't shut the fuck up? No, I'm being serious. Like, there's been a shit ton of Black shows, Black movies with all Black cats, and somehow they're still marginalized. Like, it's a deeper issue that pisses me off. Excuse me.
All right. Heck, Black Panther, which we were told was for Black people and not whites, and had what, all of 3-4 white actors?
Yeah. All I heard was Tyr trying to silence voices of color by telling them to shut the fuck up. So,
oh no, Tyr's against the Vox.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Fighting that machine. Right.
Voices of color.
Oh.
All right.
The VOCs.
Excuse me. Get Out is one of the most thought-provoking horror movies of the No, it's not.
It's really not. It's just a fucking remake of The Skeleton Key.
Pretty much.
Thank you.
Which is actually a remake of a different movie that came out in the fucking 70s.
Yeah. It's not thought-provoking. Like, the movie is straight fucking forward. There's nothing. Once you know the premise, once everything's explained, it loses all thought involved.
Now, okay, so I haven't seen the movie, but I have a theory as to what it's about. I think someone makes a really bad joke, and then someone posts the Get Out GIF on Twitter as a response to them, and they're very embarrassed. And
that would probably be more entertaining.
No, the movie was good.
The movie itself isn't bad. It's a pretty good take on the whole aspect of the skeleton key of basically body jacking. The main problem with it is the fact that they try so hard to go through and being like, okay, we're gonna do this and kind of explain it, but then try to say the rest of science. It's like says to the rest of supernatural. It's like either just go straight supernatural or straight science fiction. Like,
or don't explain shit at all.
Or don't explain shit.
Right, in Skeleton Key, it was all supernatural.
Yeah.
But and that's when us And Get Out had this problem. And nope, he didn't explain shit. We don't know the origin of the monster. I forget the name of the monster. And that's all. You know? Get Out is not a thought-provoking movie. That it fails on that part alone. But to say The Sunken Place is somehow about marginalization and voices is fucking retarded. But let me continue. Thanks to a profound concept of The Sunken Place, Get Out is a film written and directed by Jordan Peele, has left an indelible mark on the landscape of modern cinema. No, it hasn't. Released in 2017, the thought-provoking horror thriller masterfully blends societal commentary with gripping storytelling, exploring themes of race and identity in contemporary America. The story follows Chris, a black photographer, as he uncovers disturbing secrets upon visiting his white girlfriend's family estate.
I mean, it's not thought-provoking considering the fact they even say in the movie the whole reason why they're going through it, well, for so many others, is because it's cool to be black. The reason why Chris was chosen was because of his eyes.
Yes.
And not even realizing that part of the whole thing for photography that's going to go with that is going to include the mind behind the eyes as well.
It's fucking insane. Peele directed.
They're talking about how great this movie it is and masterful and all that wonderful thing. I mean, I don't think I even heard of it until 10 minutes ago.
It had a thing that stint for a while for that whole thing because of Jordan Peele, it being his first script. Not only was it his first script, so he wrote it and directed it. And for what he did, it's not a bad movie. There's definitely a few things that they should have done a little differently in that whole thing because, like was brought up, of just it's the skeleton key. Because the whole thing for the longest time was, this shows how racist white people are, except for that one rich Asian family that's there.
But even then, it wasn't that they that one group of people weren't. That one group of select people that was involved in the body snatching, they were evil.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't saying that or it wasn't trying to portray like every white person is doing this. Like no, like we have the technology or the ability to do this, so we're doing this because we can, and we're only doing it for our friends.
Oh, we're doing it to the highest bidder.
The highest bidder, yes.
Anyone who's going to say it. Honestly, if it is a demographic issue, I would say it's probably more classism than racism.
Yeah, the rich, wanting to live forever.
Exactly.
Want to live forever and be cool by default. Because quite literally, when they had the whole thing of I want to say it was the Asian dude that's like, black is cool. Black is what's in, and it's just like you kind of fucked over your whole thing of racism. And what always got me is, okay, if you're gonna say that this movie is so evil, or shows how evil white people are, why are they putting themselves in something that they would most likely see as inferior?
Yes.
Why would the grandfather have wanted to be in a black guy's body if they deemed that they were inferior? Except for, what does the grandfather actually bring up? He says that pretty much because of what he's seen of whites being smarter, or whoever that they put in the body was going to, was to let that person's intelligence, because they are supposedly more intelligent than the person that's going to be getting possessed, let them take over. So that way they can use the greatness of your physical greatness with their mental greatness. That's the closest you can get to the basically being of racism. Otherwise, quite literally, everything about it makes no fucking sense.
So basically it goes with the narrative that black people can't find the DMV on their own.
Wow.
I'm still trying to figure out where my DMV is, so I guess it's kind of true.
Or that we have to lower our school standards because people of color are not smart enough to do their own work, which I still say is bullshit.
No, I don't think it's this
And
again.
that's basically what Get Out, from what y'all are saying about Get Out, that, and I find that disturbing and it really pisses me off.
The thing about Get Out that gets me the most is, all right, no one. I get that she's been doing it. The daughter, been doing this for a hot minute. You find out she's been doing that shit for a hot minute. You know, get to know somebody, date them, and take them home, and then auction them off. You're telling me that no one makes the connection between, hey, that looks like the girl that was dating my friend that disappeared for fucking, since 2005 or whatever.
So, Honey Trap.
Kind of like Honey Trap, yeah. And it's always the daughter. But let me continue this dumb shit. The directorial debut not only garnered critical acclaim, but also sparked widespread discussion about its underlying messages and symbols.
Oh, boy.
The film's legacy extends beyond its commercial success. It serves as a cultural touchstone that has reshaped conversations around representation and racial dynamics in cinema. No, it hasn't.
This is making my eye close.
Wow.
So he was studying percussion instruments and got the idea for the movie. That kind of symbols.
No, the movie is not this. It's as deep as a fucking puddle. No. It really is. Like Rodden was saying, they basically outline the plot to you. Like they give it to you. They just tell you what the fuck is going on instantly. Like toward the end. Like you get the entire thing.
Yeah.
One big exposition dump. He does not escape the sunken place. He avoids it. Like the cotton, he takes out fluff from, and I'm still trying to figure out how the fuck he got it in his ear, but whatever.
Hello. What's going?
The movie is not that deep. Trust me.
Cotton fluff. Wait.
It's that.
As in he couldn't hear something?
Yes, because part of the whole thing of what it is for it's hypnotism.
Yeah.
She's a fucking siren.
No, the mother of his girlfriend goes through and does hypnotism. So basically, it's partially the voice and whatnot, and the other part of it is a specific sound that's the trigger sound.
Yeah.
Wow, it
Kind
really
of like
is
the supposed kind of like how the supposed thing for how to activate certain, secret, hidden, unknown KGB agents that didn't even know they were KGB agents.
Yeah.
Not a suggestion.
Yeah.
It really is the skeleton key. Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And again, it's not that, oh, well, like you said, not that he used it to escape.
I've stepped in puddles that were deeper, Tier.
Yeah, I have too. It's a decent movie. It's not. I don't see it winning awards. It didn't, if I'm not mistaken. All right. What set Get Out apart was this nuanced approach to horror, using the genre as a vehicle to address real world issues. Get Out's most notable concept, the sunken place, has become a powerful metaphor resonating with audiences for its depiction of racial oppression, its narrative, exceptional performance, and deft direction from positions Get Out deft direction have positioned Get Out not just as a standout horror film, but a seminal work that challenges viewers to confront uncomfortable truths about society. No, it didn't.
Uh-huh.
Jordan Peele's Get Out introduced the concept of the sunken place, a metaphor that has sparked much discussion and analysis. According to Peele, the sunken place represents the marginalization of Black voices and experiences, particularly in cinema. He succinctly explained this idea, stating in a tweet, "The sunken place means we're marginalized. No matter how hard we scream, the system silences us." No, it's not. This profound statement underlines the film's exploration of systemic silencing and underrepresentation of Black individuals in the film industry and broader society. Again, not that long before this, a movie came out. It was called Black Panther. No, was it? No, like it came out after this movie. Let me look that up really quick.
Can I pause while you're looking that up? I got something here.
I think it came out.
If you want to talk about post,
it came out a year after the movie. All right, hold on, really quick. So Black Panther came out a year after the movie, so that meant it was being filmed possibly in 2017. At the latest, 2017 was filming because it takes like a few months to do filming. Yeah. And that's if they didn't hold off on it.
But you want to talk about post-hypnotic suggestion?
Mm-hmm.
No.
You tell me that if your state of mind dictates how you're going to live your life, change your mindset. And that's going to change your outcomes. Okay? Now, if you got years upon, or generations upon generations saying, we can't do this because of where we live or because of what we're doing, or the way that government has done things. Well, have you tried doing something different? Until you've tried to take that first step and get out of the situation that you're in?
So, I remember back in the day, the concept of pull yourself up by your bootstraps was the law of the land.
Exactly.
You know, you can't get something, then if you can't get what you need, you get it yourself. You know, you can't, you make it yourself. You do this yourself. Nowadays, everybody wants to be handed something. You know?
Well, I don't think it's so much wanting to be handed something. It's just that they're wanting help, but they don't know how to help themselves in order to actually.
It's sort of like an infantilization. Oh, you can't. It's not your fault that you live here, you live there, and it's the city is shit. It's not your fault. It's the white man keeping you down.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. If you change your mindset and take that first step to get out of the situation, then you can't use that excuse with it.
I just want to know who's holding down all those millionaire Black athletes.
And actors and singers.
Y'all got, again, I keep bringing this up. I bring this up because it keeps coming to my mind. Years ago, I can't remember the guy's name. He was this Black influencer. He tried to say that even though he had a shit ton of money, he is more oppressed than a white homeless man.
Ibram X. Kendi.
It wasn't Ibram X. Kendi.
It wasn't? Because I know he said that.
Well, the one I'm talking about, he said he had just said he had bought his mother a brand new house.
Oh, shit.
I know there's the joke from Chris Rock back in the day that's, he's like, I'm Black. He's like, there's a guy in here that's like fucking wobbles when he walks and can't walk straight and everything. And he's probably like, I think I'm going to ride this thing out. But he said that as a joke.
But he the guy I'm referencing said that with the straightest face ever, the most serious tone, and had not that long ago bragged about how he just bought his mother a brand new house. Him in cash paid brand new house, and he kept saying, "Oh, even though I have all this money and I have all these things, I'm still more pressed than the homeless white guy." Or Oprah, how she used to say, "Oh, I'm still more pressed than a homeless white guy." How? You aren't. You basically have all the money.
Now, let's talk about a question. And white privilege.
And that's another sack of shit. I'm done with this article, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, to
I
be
want to
honest
know.
with you, it's some white person talking out of his ass to prop up somebody that doesn't need to be propped up.
All that privilege I'm supposed to have, it's hidden wherever my gold is.
Oh, no, Angela, you got to remember that depending on the person who's talking about it, because you're Jewish, you're not white.
Oh, that's true too.
So in other words, Angela, there's a possibility that we find your gold, we can find your white privilege.
Yeah, my quote unquote privilege meant that I had to pay full price for my college education on twice the academic requirements, qualifications, and grades that the people that were getting full rides based on various minority statuses had to do. Like, oh, for this one, all you have to be as a minority, take one class over the border between part-time and full-time and keep a GPA of 2.0 or better.
So in other words, they just got they can get a college degree just by doing nothing.
Very little. I mean, there were two gals in that they weren't paying for their time at the college. They were there basically on welfare, government aid, and they didn't bother going to most of their classes. They played cards in the commons and everything, because if they flunked out, you just pop out another kid and the government would pay for you to go back again. And not even always that. Didn't always have to pop out another kid. It's like, well, if we fail, I mean, government pay for another semester, so why bother?
Yeah. Well, if you want to, I'm sort of like the guy that did the Man Show with Jimmy Kimmel. What's his name? The comedian?
Adam Carolla.
Yes. He did a whole thing about white privilege. He says, what it helped him with, he was a contractor before he was a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was a handyman, did construction. So where was that as opposed to people that were getting, like, what? Will say. I mean, if you really want to get down to it.
Again, it's not. I don't think your skin makes you inherently anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it makes you inherently skinned versus people who don't have any for one reason or another.
It does make you like you won't get sunburnt as easily, and like there are like differences based on your skin color. It's just not major ones.
No, I don't think there's a link. All right, I'm a nurturist. You can take children born from Aboriginal tribes in fucking Brazil, the Amazon, and raise them in a society with modern technology, and they'll be just as smart as the kids born from that.
They still won't get sunburned as easily as white people. It's like, but there are differences based on skin color. They're just not big ones.
But But I'm just saying, like,
Well, yeah, there's differences based on physiology and biology, but they're all
Yeah, that's my point.
physical. They're not,
Yes.
they're not specifically intellect, cleverness. They're not
Yeah.
work ethic. They're none of that stuff. They're just, hey, this person is less likely to sunburn. That person's more likely to have sickle cell anemia. Oh, that person is more likely to. Oh, it's a white redhead from Ireland. Yeah, 30 seconds in direct sunlight, and they'll go up like Dracula.
Yeah, that's my point. Is like there are differences based on skin color. It's just very like minor ones like that.
Yeah, they're minor and they're all physiological.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what you're saying is that redheaded Irishmen or Irish people have a special gift. It's called spontaneous combustion.
Pretty much.
Well, that's because that all the alcohol in their blood system, just
Well, that I was gonna say, babe, you've seen what I look like after 20 minutes in direct sunlight.
Angel's a day walker.
And then
Angela, you're a Jew. You shouldn't have that kind of problem.
Well, that's an absurd
also
assumption
Native
about
American.
Californian.
That didn't help either.
I mean, that's a perceived assumption of Californians. I mean, she can be you said gay walker, right?
Yeah, day walker.
Oh, day walker. I thought you said gay walker. I said, just because she's from California doesn't make her gay.
It raises the odds considerably, though.
I think
Yes,
that
it
was
does.
a gag, babe, not.
See, I was trying to help you. I will defend your honor.
As he dragged it through the mud.
I didn't say I'd pick her up that high, but I'll pick you up and defend your honor.
Look, he's just trying to make sure she's by the ledge so he can push her off. Not anyone else. Just him.
Exactly.
What up, Sean? Oh man. But again, like intelligence is something that is nurtured. Now, there are circumstances of birth, Down syndrome and shit like that. No matter what you do, you can't nurture intelligence in that environment.
Fetal alcohol syndrome.
Yeah, shit like that. You can't fix a genetic defect where someone is out of step. You can give them the tools to kind of at least hobble along, but they'll still be out of step, and that's not going to change whether you
Actually, for some of those, they'd probably be more functional.
than some of the people now.
They'd probably be more functional in places like the Amazon, sub-Saharan Africa, stuff like that, where you don't have to function inside so much technology and so much education to get along. It's like, hey, it's more direct, it's more physical.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, yeah, we're not trying to fix computers and answer questions about car maintenance and home insurance. We're just trying to make sure we have food and water to get along, and simple stuff. Actually, sounds like a nice life sometimes.
A simple life, I guess. Yeah, So
I
again,
think I'm gonna choose.
and I know some people of all races that I wouldn't give them complex instructions to do anything, and that's not because they're one race or the other, because they're fucking stupid.
Well, I've known a lot of to use modern parlance. I think this modern parlance right now, developmentally challenged individuals. Like, well, that one is never getting above the mentality of 3. But you know what? Nicest guy you ever want to meet.
that are completely in step, like that aren't developmentally damaged, that don't have any issues mentally or physically, who are just fucking stupid.
Well, I see. They're the ones I judge the most. So
Some people that are destined to flip burgers forever.
Well, there are brilliant.
you say
people
that, but I've met people I wouldn't trust to flip burgers, so I wouldn't trust them to touch food at all.
There are brilliant people that I wouldn't trust in the kitchen to turn on the stove. When I say brilliant, they are structural engineers and shit like that. But they also
They don't have the grasp on the science of cooking.
They can't pay attention to things like time and remembering that they put something on the stove or how to tie their own shoes.
Well, that's why you use timers and slip-ons.
That's why. That's actually why Albert Einstein always wore loafers.
Again, I get that. Like you're focused on one thing and other things slip, but I'm talking more along the lines of he failed 6 grades. He failed 6th grade 6 times.
Albert Einstein, yeah, because he's severely dyslexic.
No, I wasn't talking about Albert Einstein in general. I'm just talking about the people I'm talking about, like the people that are just fucking stupid. Who aren't out of step. They're just they just refuse to grasp the concepts, but they're brilliant in other places. Like school learning ain't your thing. What you need to do is take a trade and grab a hobo sack and see the world.
Well, some people
I knew a guy that
aren't good at regular school.
Yeah, I knew a guy, give him any car, any motor, and any stuff like that, and trust him to fix it blindfolded, but put him in other areas of life. Thank you, but no, thank you.
Yeah,
I mean, have you ever met an engineer? They're some of the dumbest smart people I've ever met.
That's kind of the point I was making.
You can just say Jack Gunsky. We know who you mean.
My
Okay.
very first,
I'm not 100% sure Gunsky's smart, though.
Fair point.
But he is an engineer.
Let's let Angela go.
Angela.
My very first job after my divorce was a temp gig working express check-in at Biocon. I spoke to people who were into molecular engineering and biological engineering and crazy shit like that, who couldn't actually carry on a conversation past hi, who literally, it took me 30 minutes to tell a guy how to get to a place that was directly across the street from the convention center.
Wow.
Yeah.
You go straight that direction until you see a door. You go through the door, make sure you open it, and directly in front of you, when you've gone through the door, will be a street. You walk straight across the street. You're there.
And remember, it is a push, not a pull, to leave. To enter the other one, it is a pull, not a push.
But talking about engineers, and I am excluding Jack Gunsky, I have been on job sites where we've got the blueprints in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
The welder that I was helping looked at the blueprints. He had everything measured exactly. And the engineer was there. He says, well, this is supposed to be here. And I watched my welder pick this man up by the back of his head and show him, does that fit? I've watched this happen.
You're an engineer doesn't mean you can read a blueprint.
Yeah.
Well, he's the one that made the blueprint.
Yeah.
Still doesn't mean you can read it.
Yeah, that's true.
I actually turned around. This guy is brilliant. I'm not going to lie. He knows his shit and can install anything in like 10 minutes or less.
Okay.
But he was looking at one of the floor plans for a booth. And because the person who filled out the floor plan did it like they were standing inside the booth looking out, instead of like they're standing outside the booth looking in, my friend could not figure out why everything was on the wrong side of the booth. Like, he called me 3 times. I finally had to turn around and tell him, do me a favor, go stand at the back of the booth, turn around and face out. So he does, and he's like, okay. I'm like, now the booth that's on the other side is on the side that's marked on the paper, right? And he's like, oh!
Well, that could be because he was overworked.
He really was.
You know, let's play devil's advocate for a second here.
Okay.
You know, sometimes they are overworked, and I can forgive that. What I cannot forgive is laziness.
I will never tell you that this guy was lazy. He just couldn't make that simple little tweak.
Well,
Just like
it's not in the design. It's not in the structure, the way he looks at things, especially when he gets these all day long, every day, weeks, months, years on end. And if some idiot puts the design backwards,
Yeah, exactly.
it's not always something that's going to click for you.
you know,
I know. Like, which is why, like I said, it's not, that's kind of the point that I'm trying to make. It's not necessarily that they're stupid. It's because they just, like, have that one thing that can't make the flip, you know?
Or you could just say it's not that they're stupid; they're just not as adept at dealing with stupid.
Exactly.
That's a little better. They don't have to deal with stupidity.
What I'm getting at as far as not forgiving stupid or laziness, you realize we have people that are first generation immigrants in this country who refuse to speak English.
Yeah.
I mean, Rodney, when you were in New Mexico, how often did you come across that when you interacted with people in Clovis? And then you get told
only in a couple spots, really.
I'm about
and then you get told.
Would you say? Hold on.
No,
Say something?
when James is done.
And then you get told in perfect English, you need to learn Spanish.
Oh, I never got told I need to learn Spanish.
Now here's where I'm going to step in. And I'm going to sound horribly racist, but I miss when you didn't go into a neighborhood that spoke all one language and not expect to have to know that language. Because, and it's going to suck, because a lot of first generation people in the country will not leave the neighborhood that is inhabited by people from the country they came from.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure
because they know the people there speak the language. And that was how it was up until about 15 years ago.
Oh no, I'm still pretty sure I've dealt with people that would use Spanish. It's like new perfect English and everything, or new English, and didn't want to speak it because they wanted to be an asshole.
I've never known anybody that didn't speak it because they didn't want to be an ass. They didn't want to speak it because when they have spoken it, people have made fun of their accents. People have turned around and made fun of the fact that because of the language barrier, they said something a little off. And so they decided to stop trying. That isn't...
Oh, with any of... I can't
Which is
understand it with some
why...
folks
Which
and
is
that
why a lot of first generation people, until I'll even go as far back as 20 years ago, did not leave their neighborhoods. And you knew if you were going into this neighborhood, most of the people here spoke Spanish.
Yes, and that would make sense for a neighborhood. But like if I'm going into a regular grocery store and some dude's refusing to speak English, even though he knows it, he's being an asshole.
Yes.
What neighborhood is the grocery store in?
Yeah, I've talked to people. I was working phone support at the time, and I've talked to people who wanted somebody else to be English, who spoke English, and wanted somebody there to be an interpreter for them until they found out they'd still have to speak. They'd have to speak actually with me through an interpreter that my employer provided, and then they started speaking English. They didn't want to be bothered with speaking English.
No.
They could.
Here's a catch that I learned when I worked at the answering service. That isn't about that. They're talking about something that they think they might actually get in trouble for. Okay. And so they think that if they speak to somebody who will speak to them in Spanish or whatever language, because it's happened literally every day, at least 10 times a day. On attorney lines and the hospital lines, I would get people who would speak to me in perfect English and tell me they wanted somebody who spoke Spanish.
Well, the thing is...
And it's literally because they want somebody they can talk to and know that we can't understand what they're saying.
See, the thing is that it wasn't that they wanted to speak Spanish out of something like that. They wanted to use their own family member interpreter, which we couldn't do, but we would provide quite willingly and happily a fluent Spanish speaker to interpret the conversation for them. But it's like, basically, if I can't have my own interpreter, then no, I'll just speak English.
Yeah, that's a trust issue, and it's
and I was gonna say, and with Aspigas, that was a different story because there were a couple guys there. It's like most of the guys there, they all understood English. I don't know whether or not they spoke it. They weren't also dicks either. We could still interpret everything, basically, like through kind of a way of charades. But I was also only going there for the restaurant that was a part of Aspigas, so it was pretty easy to be like, this number is what I would like.
And point at the menu item.
I'm like, basically point at the menu item. It's like, I want this. They're like, this much. Here, money, and they're just like, never had a problem. Like, I've known people as well.
You have the
all over the world. At worst, it's like typically I may ask someone to bring it, like say it again, and I have had the person. It's like they thought I was making fun of. Like, no, I want to make sure I'm getting the dialect right of what you're saying. And they say, I'm like, okay, cool. And then we never had a problem after that. So usually, if I would say like, wait, can you repeat that? I may not have caught that right.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of the times, if you're willing to make the effort, even sometimes they'll just turn around and say, look, you're having a really hard time. I can speak this much English.
Yeah, well, if you're traveling internationally, there's a lot of people that'll respect make the effort. From the ones I've heard of, the French are probably the
least
prominent in. Well, they're the most prominent in it because they will accommodate like all get out.
The French?
But you have to the French, yeah.
But you have to speak French.
No. You have to make the effort. first. even if it is literally pulling out the guidebook and reading badly the sentence from the guidebook that communicates what you're trying to do, you make the effort first. And according to a friend of mine that loves France and has been there a dozen times, you make the effort and they'll almost bend over backwards being accommodating. If you don't make the effort, then
that's not nowadays.
if you don't make the effort, they don't know anything. They don't know anything English.
No, that was my experience when I went to France. Was even just saying "Parlez-vous anglais," like the terrible pronunciation and all, they respected that you learnt that one phrase and were at least willing to make that much effort. And then it's like, yeah, I speak English, or
as long as you're willing to try.
Yeah,
I at least went through the whole process as well as like making sure I had Google Translate out as well. Like while I was in Japan, like I tried to learn what I could, and they could tell flat out. It's like I felt like a dick if I couldn't fucking speak or to get through the shit that I wanted to get out to them.
True Green Badger outdoors. Apollo says the same thing in every language.
Yeah.
Griffin.
But yeah.
Griffin.
All right, everybody. We beaten this drum.
Well, actually, if you want to go off a thing for a little lightheartedness in a way, I don't think it applies to too many people other than really me, because I think I'm the only one who really drives. I've shared a thing on Twitter of, I think it's a total of 7 tips of how not to get carjacked. Would you like to hear?
One, we got handy.
Okay,
actually, it goes with this one. We're gonna go with straight from number 1, and this is from Armed Joy. So at Armed Joy for anyone who wants to see it as well. I've also, like I said, quote tweeted it, so shared it on Twitter. It says how not to carjack. Here, share screen. Go to there. Go share.
Hold on 1 second. Add stage.
Because this was a lot of steps that was taught by this person's father, which I think is a woman, but I'm not a hundo on that. But it says we start with how not to get carjacked. Yes. It's like
it's there.
Tip 1. This is the hardest one for many of y'all because I know you're tailgating. I know you're a tailgating ass rider in a hurry, but y'all need spacing. When you're driving, leave car lengths. When you're at a red light, leave a gap so you can drive out if needed. And then the don't do this is like the getting right up on the person because they can just get you in there. Tip 2. Hit the fucker. You're in a giant metal bomb that can get up and go fast. You see a gun pointed at you, slam the accelerator. Get out clean if you can, get out dirty if you must. Someone willing to shoot at you while fleeing is likely to shoot at you while you're in the seat. Tip 3. Don't idle in your car when you get somewhere and don't have your head in your phone. Tons of carjacking are people getting got because they pulled up and sat in their car watching YouTube. Stop, look around, and get out. Stop, look around, get out, or pay attention. Tip 4, be aware of tricks. People pretending to lay down on the road injured, bump and runs where they gently hit your vehicle, then jump you when you're ready to get out and trade insurance and more. Take a second to analyze the situation before you stop or jump out of your car. Tip 5, general. A lot has been said about the moment you're getting carjacked, just give the vehicle up. It's not worth your life. But I personally know 3 people have been shot while not resisting in a carjacking situation. Know whether it's worth it to quit and run or fight. And then the last one is if you can, carry a gun. This is an actual situation.
The corollary to those last 2 is know your laws, because where I live, An attempted carjacking of an occupied vehicle is defined in law as justification for using lethal force in self-defense.
Nice.
Good. I say hit the motherfucker.
So using lethal force against a person
Oh yeah,
who is
and then-
trying to
and so now
carjack
you're gonna
you.
get to see this one. I love this freaking video.
That's yep.
And then the person right underneath that, lock your doors. Like quite literally, when you get in your
Yes.
vehicle, before you even start it, lock your freaking door.
There is no reason
that.
under the sun that the doors on your car should be unlocked once you're inside until you're getting out again.
There's a sovereign citizen thing. I can't remember. He called the police road pirates. You're attacking my vessel.
Wow.
Well, I mean, you don't have to be into the sovereign citizen thing that's called police road pirates. They have their moments, we shall say.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
But I think we need to use the term road pirates for those guys that carjack like that. They tried to open up their cannon doors to fire for a blast, and he just rammed their vessel. Massage.
Butt pirates, that's also the police.
But
only
Don't
if they
die
arrest you.
here.
I'm trying not to.
He can die if he wants to. I don't mind.
Curry just going to drag me back from the pits of hell, kicking and
Yeah.
screaming.
Well, I mean, if he, you
With
gotta
a
think
game
if he dies on
controller in
stream,
your
this
hand.
will, this episode is gonna like go through the roof in viewership.
Exactly.
You'll hit a million views before the end of the weekend.
Sweet.
If either of us dies while on stream, right now I'm the one that's still sick enough to do it.
Ah man, but I have the Dear Prudent stuff. I'll read a few titles to you, and you guys get to choose which one we read. Okay?
Oh boy.
Before we get into that, because I go grab a drink. Did y'all hear the new law? I want to say it's in California that got enacted.
Oh, what did
What?
we do now?
It's actually one of the few smart laws I've heard happen for California,
Oh,
or at least
okay.
wherever. It's either that or it might be Minnesota. I can't remember. But basically, when a person gets pulled over, a police officer can't come up to the window and say, "Do you know why I pulled you over?"
Oh
They
yeah,
have to
I
tell
like
you
this.
directly why they pulled you over, so they can't try to get one over on you because you saw me smoking a joint, or because of this, that, and other.
Because that's
You can't
entrapment.
incriminate yourself.
Yeah, that's entrapment. They should have to come over. That's why, like, the smartest thing to do is like, if they pull you over, it's say, "I don't know, why did you pull me over?"
Yeah, cut down on pretextual stops and everything else. And I think pretextual stops should just be abolished.
Oh, there you go.
You could always say
California
something
gets right
like, "Was
now.
I driving too slow, officer?"
No, just like, do you know why I pulled you over? I'm sorry, officer. I don't have a clue.
Every
Would
time-
you please inform me?
Luckily, I've never had it, but it's like I would always be so tempted to pull the Larry the Cable Guy joke on that one. Do you know why I pulled you over? You owe me $20.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have this thing where my few interactions with police officers on the road, I've had to bite down on some of the knee-jerk response kind of things. Kind of.
You know why I pulled you over? Because you're an asshole.
Yeah,
Oh,
don't say that.
wow.
That's
Tier?
a bad idea.
If you
Yeah.
ever do that, please tell me all about it. Or
No.
that's better.
Record it.
Record it.
Yeah, have the phone recording first. Absolutely. And remember, landscape mode.
Yeah.
Landscape? God damn.
Yeah. Yes, you gotta have the
You
have
don't
the
want to
phone
be
in
one of those
landscape with
assholes that
better
Mikey and
video.
Jack yell at all the time.
Oh, I mean, if anything, I'm basically just gonna say, like, if I were to go down the joke line like that, if they'd be like, "Do you know why I pulled you over? Because you're looking for a date?" I don't know.
Oh shit!
But you know why
I mean,
I pulled
technically,
you
what are
over?
they going to say from that?
Wait. You know why I pulled you over? Because I have a dozen of donuts in the back.
Because you can smell
No,
it.
it's like things, like, have you had a drink recently? Well, I got a Coke over there and I got
Oh
a
my
water
God.
right there. And
Can
when's
you
the last time you
define
had an
drink?
alcoholic drink? 3 weeks
What day is this?
ago? On a
Tuesday.
stream last night?
Last
No, I
night.
pulled your world star.
Come on, OBS. God fucking damn it.
You know, I pulled you over. You thought I was an
all right,
Instagram influencer?
Oh no!
You know why I pulled you over? You want to hit the good word, Jesus, Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. All right, let's read. Let me read the titles. All right, first one. Help! My cousin thinks I should host her wedding just because I own her childhood home.
What?
Number two. Help! My in-laws ruined the birth of my first child, and they're about to do it again. Number 3. Help! My ex confessed that his marriage is a sham. Then I saw his social media announcement. 4. Help! My longtime friend has turned into an absolute creep, and he's freaking me out. And then 5. Dear Prudence, I'm not going to my family's Christmas if my brother brings his awful rescue dog.
Okay, can we just burn everybody involved in all of those stories except for the brother and the rescue dog?
So
What?
Just take everybody involved in all those stories, take the brother and the rescue dog, set them aside, and just burn everybody else.
Huh.
you just want to start a
Okay,
human
let's
bonfire.
start with the reason that person's supposed to host the wedding because they live in the other person's childhood home.
Okay, let me copy and send over. Posted it in chat. I didn't get a chance to archive a couple of these, so
I mean, you wanting your it's like you wanting your or it's like wanting to have because of the childhood home and whatnot, asking and like because just saying things that you should host and whatnot, it's not necessarily a thing, but it's if they're saying no, you should do this all free of charge because you own my childhood home.
I was gonna say,
suck a dick.
Well,
you
it's
you can rent the place for.
well, yeah. Is it asking if you can work out an arrangement to use the childhood home, or is it saying you have to let me do this? Because if I own my cousin's childhood home,
let's read and find out.
and they walk in and say you have to host this wedding, yeah, no, that ain't happening.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to find out.
All right, dear Prudence, my late uncle tried to make a go of keeping our family farm up and running, but he barely ended up breaking even. Most of his income came from mineral rights and renting out the land to an RV park. I had a fast-paced career that paid well, but was burning me up. So when he died, I offered to buy his wife and daughter out of the property. They agreed. I sold most of the acreage to developers and kept the main farm and barn, which I turned into an event center. I used my previous business skills to make it very successful. The pandemic put a serious dent in my business and savings. Only now am I starting to get back in the black. My cousin announced her engagement and her dream to get married on her farm at Thanksgiving. She did not ask me, and frankly, I have no desire to get roped into this. My aunt and cousin have all been very vocal about sticking their nose into my business about the farm, from selling off the land to remodeling the farmhouse. They all made a tidy sum off the sale and retained the mineral rights. They aren't hurting money wise. I
Okay,
will
I'm
expect.
gonna stop you
Excuse me.
right here. And the whole thing, quite literally, from everything we're seeing, is basically they're saying because it's their child at home, this person has to do it. They didn't come to ask them, and
They
any
didn't
of
offer
that.
to rent the place.
I wouldn't even say I'm booked. I would say flat out, are you going to pay me? And if they say no, then you tell them no. And if I see any of you on here, I will have you arrested for trespassing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like it sound, I don't, because I know Terry agrees, and I don't care if it sounds dickish, but quite literally, no reason to lie to it. If they're not going to pay you for it, if they're not going to do any of that, then no, they don't get to just do it because they think they can. It's not their property.
Yeah,
They don't
no, they sold it to this woman, and now it's not theirs anymore. They have no rights to it.
Yeah.
All right, let me finish. It's just a short little paragraph long. I will be expected to come and cover all the local expenses for this wedding because we're family. This was their
hell
home.
no.
I would just lie and say I'm solidly booked up for the next 2 years, but I have in the past offered cancellations to friends and other family members for their events, but they actually paid me. What are my options here other than being the family ghost for the next few years? My aunt and cousins will invoke the shade of my uncle and grandparents out of a pure attempt to emotionally manipulate, and my family will fall for it.
I know exactly
Honestly,
what to do. I'm going to interrupt you. I know exactly what to do in this situation. You bring everyone together and you look directly at that cousin and everyone else in there and say, are you going to pay for this as you would anywhere else? And if they say no, they're not going to, that you're supposed to be like, no, I've had X, Y, and Z who have all had events here. They paid me for it like they're supposed to. If you're not going to do that, I'm not hosting this for you. I do not have to. Because then you have all of the family. Guess what? Your uncle, your aunts, your other cousins, and your grandparents that are all going to look at that being like, wait a minute, all of them paid, but you're trying to tell them that he has to do it, this person has to do it for free? No, you're better than that. Emotionally manipulate? Fuck no, you nip that bitch in the butt fucking quick.
agreed. Like
Exactly.
Like you first off, they sold it to you. You bought it from them. You made it a successful business hosting events. It is your property. If you, like I said, if you see one there, you call police.
You bought it. It's yours to control, not theirs.
Yeah.
And you have made family pay before.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like this is a new thing and you're just being mean to them.
Nobody gets a freebie.
Not even family. Y'all want to use it?
Now, if they're polite about it, maybe they can get a discounted price. But I would even say flat out, and you're not getting a family discount, any of that. You're getting what everyone else has to deal with because of the fact you came here and tried to tell me I have to do all this for free.
Yeah.
Because it's your childhood home.
Yeah, even if
That's
you've given
not how this
discounts to
works.
family and friends before, the fact that they turned around and just expected you
Started making demands.
demanded that you do it and eat the cost of it means no accommodation at all.
I mean, you could get. What if it's Thanksgiving, around Thanksgiving time? I'm pretty sure there's somebody that wants to throw like a barnyard style banquet for a company or some sort of business. So you're losing money. Yeah,
I'd be tempted to advertise for a discounted event and take any comer but the family members.
Yeah, like you're.
Oh no,
how can you expect
I
me to
get
do
it.
this?
Y'all are all really nice on that one because I had told them flat out, no, if you're not paying, you're not getting it. And made sure, like I said, that the grandparents heard it, everyone else heard it, and brought up how the others paid. Because then they say, you're being selfish. No, I'm not being selfish. I'm expecting to be compensated for what I do, not doing everything for you because this is your dream. Guess what? That's why it's called a dream. It's not reality. You want this, you have to work for it.
Ouch.
Well,
Yeah,
what if
besides-
no one? And it'd be that thing of what if no one has an event going on there that day? Well, then I guess I've got that day off because you're not.
Yeah, no, they have no entitlement to the place after they sold it to their whatever relationship they have with this woman. Like once they sold it to her, they don't have a right to the place anymore. It's fully up to her whether she hosts anything or not, whether she
Pretty
charges them or not.
And I'd be the
Again-
asshole after that whole thing and been like, and I will give you 3 days to tell me whether or not you're going to do this. After 3 days, if you haven't, I'm getting a restraining order on you that you are not to be within X amount of yards of this property. Because then anything happens that they try to come there. And guess what? Boom, they're getting arrested.
Hmm.
There you go.
I'm a petty motherfucker when it comes to a lot of shit. But when it comes to shit like this, that people think that they're just going to get to use you, oh, Jesus fucking my petty, this motherfucker.
Yeah. No, I think if they'd asked, it would be totally different. If they're just assuming they get to do this because we used to live here and, hey, we want to, no, then you forfeit all niceties. You're being a jerk. The woman should be a jerk back.
Oh, what's the matter, sweetheart? You don't like it when someone's a bigger asshole than you are? You shouldn't have stepped up to the
Tough
plate.
kitty.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. Again, same list. What are we doing next?
Can I
picked
take
the
a shot
last
to the
one.
head instead?
Huh?
Then can I take a shot to the head instead?
No. You have to suffer with us.
The struggle is real.
I mean, so far, I'd rather keep freaking poking at the cut on my finger that Green Banding gave me than deal with
All
these
right,
idiots.
so
Let's
again,
do the support dog.
Yeah, let's do that one.
okay.
It's going to be really easy to call out this person as a total jackhole. And Go on.
It's a short
Yeah,
one.
watch this. It's going to be the support dog's not actually a support dog. They're just claiming it's.
oh, yeah, it's not an authentic service dog. It's just somebody's emotional support animal. It's my emotional support.
It has
girl.
rescue in quotes.
Yeah.
All right.
In that case, it might be keep the dog and burn the owner.
Yeah.
All right. I have an annual holiday dilemma involving my brother's dog. My brother and sister-in-law adopted a rescue dog who had a history of being abused. While I admire that they were willing to take the dog on the dog, she has a history of trauma and can be unpredictable. My brother often brings the dog to my parents' home for the holidays. The dog doesn't always react very well to new people and environments, and has behaved aggressively at times. She bit me a few years ago. Goddamn. Then yesterday at Thanksgiving, the dog bit my 9-year-old niece twice. Whoa.
Nope.
She was distraught.
Nope. That thing happened.
Put it down.
Yep. And this is coming from someone who, because of a dog that had heartworms and was the last grandchild to be got by the dog and had to get 300 stitches in his dome, it bit the niece twice. No, I don't care how much of a jackass you're going to be. It's like you're going to sound like in that one. It's going to be flat out. If you can't get your dog to do what they're supposed to in that whole thing, if you're going to bring them here, they're staying in your car or they're staying somewhere else. They're not going to be around people if this is the way they're going to act. I understand they're a rescue, but you know what? In the words of Bill Burr, sometimes nature just said no.
Well, you look at that, and some of that, if you're taking in a rescue dog, you have to understand and deal with the limitations in that. One of the things in my FedEx days, I had to deal with a lot of rescue dogs. And it's, even for a person with almost no emotional basis, almost no empathy, it's heartbreaking to see an animal that is absolutely terrified of you.
Mm-hmm.
And because that wants to bite you, but is afraid to get within 3 yards of you. And there's something very rewarding about gradually winning them over with kindness and,
Yeah.
you know,
Like I said, mine where I got bit in that whole thing, it was with the dog with heartworms. But it's
Yeah,
still
dog was
that
sick.
whole, the whole thing is like, if you can't go through the process to make sure the dog isn't going to do anything like this because you haven't gotten through everything to get them past what they need to get past, the
Right.
dog shouldn't be around people.
Mhm.
Well, nature
And
says for the dog, you're the one.
Especially not 18-month-old kids.
Yeah.
I mean, kids of any age. This person's talking about their youngest being 18 months old. That kid should not be should not be on the same property with the dog until
Agreed.
the dog is, conditioned, temperament has gotten over and past it. Because you can take those rescues and you can work with them till they're, fully adjusted. Just because a dog's a rescue, I mean, you can take a rescue from the worst conditions and recondition it through a
Love and
butt
affection.
ton of affection and care and retraining and everything. I probably wouldn't have the patience for it. But you take that, and if the dog is not adjusted to the environment, you don't put the dog in that environment. If it's going to have potential bad reactions to strangers, as far as strange to it, and you're going to your family gathering where there's going to be people that it doesn't know, you don't do that. You bring people into your place one at a time, carefully, until the dog is comfortable with that. You pick the people that are best with animals, and 2 at a time. You build it up until the dog is perfectly comfortable with strangers, because they know you're not going to put it in a situation where there's strangers that are going to hurt it.
I mean, unfortunately, they can't, because I know Tyr stopped that whole thing, but I continued reading on a little bit, and that they can't board the dog because apparently she's aggressive towards other dogs. And
so how do you think it's going to be towards an 18-month-old baby?
Yeah.
The simple fact.
I mean, it may be one of those things that it's like, you may have to look at trying to buy stuff for it and basically make them an outdoor cage to be in, to where the rest of the kid, it's going to be outdoors and the kids aren't allowed to be around them. But then there's always the wonder that the dog could get out. It's you're going to have to make some sort of call. But in all honesty, I'm with the writer on this one, because
all right, let me finish reading
it.
Team Human, number
The
one, baby.
simple fact is that if you're inviting a person into your home, and Cujo lives there, you're responsible for what Cujo does.
Yeah,
that's true. All right. Let me finish reading it. All right, they usually keep the dog in one of the guest rooms while other people are over. But with all the kids, she inevitably gets let out at some point. I have the youngest child, an 18-month-old, and I'm becoming increasingly uncomfortable having her around the dog. Should I tell my brother and my parents that I won't come to holiday celebration if the dog is present? They can't board the dog because she's aggressive toward other dogs. So I think we'll create some drama. However, I'm unwilling to risk my daughter's safety. Terrified toddler mom.
I mean, I'm with the mom on this one. It's the whole thing in that situation. The parents, if they want to be complaining about it, you're willing to risk your granddaughter's, it's like your grandchild's safety
for a dog
over a rescue. Like, again, I know you should rescue and treat animals kindly and everything, because it's usually not their fault and that whole thing, but I still am in the whole it's a weird thing to have, because like I said, there are some dogs. It's like some pets that are worth the risk and everything because there is an actual reward in there. But an 18-month-old child cannot defend themselves. I mean, hell, depending the size, size, weight, the dog. There's potentially a lot of the children that aren't going to be able to fight off the dog necessarily easy.
I say this, he's not going to be able to that dog tear that little kid apart.
And again, it sounds like the brother is not going through the actual process of trying to do the thing. I think that the brother seems like he's just going about the whole thing of being like, well, if we show the dog kindness, the dog will be kind. How?
And
that doesn't work with animals, and it damn sure don't work with humans.
It does work with animals, and it works with rescues, but it works to a point, and it takes a long time. You can't just. We're going to start out with we're being kind to the dog, and it's going to get over all these past issues, and that's all there is to it. Yeah, no, it takes time. You can't just boom, we've got this rescue dog, and it's going to be around all of us, and we're just going to be loving, kind, and everything. No, if the brother shouldn't be if they can't board the dog, the brother shouldn't be coming to the holidays with it.
Oh, I agree with that one. But as I say, this isn't an anime. It's not the power of friendship is going to get it over. It's not like we have the power of friendship, and you're going to see a circle around the dog, and like the bad spirits leave out of it, and the dog is now just this perfectly good being. This is the real world, and it has consequences.
Well, I mean, if you're dealing with a rescue dog and everything, that really is. I mean, half of that is what it is because it's just
half of that.
Instantaneous.
Yes, that's what I'm getting. It's not instantaneous.
And
it sounds like the brother is not
freakishly long process.
Yeah, that's why I said it sounds like the brother is not doing his due diligence in that whole situation.
I mean, I had cases of. That one really stands out to me as a house that I had a delivery for probably once or twice a week for 4 years. And the first time I went there, could tell the dog was a rescue, could tell that the dog, because of its history, just wanted to bite the hell out of me. But it was terrified to get... Well, let's just say that if I could throw a fire safe that far, it wanted to be twice as far.
Wow.
It wouldn't get close. It wanted to. It wanted to turn me into kibble. But it was terrified to get even close. And it was a couple of years of seeing this dog 1 to 3 times a week, talking to it gently, tossing a milk bone in its general direction every time it saw me. And I know that the family was working with the dog every single day because it was coming around between visits too. And
doing their due diligence.
And it came out to where the dog came and took the milk bone from my hand.
See, I was hoping this story would end with, and finally the dog liked me enough to bite me, and that's why I'm crippled.
well, you gotta remember.
No, that was a different dog. That was a different dog.
Well, you gotta remember 2 things. You're an Eldritch abomination. Of course, the fucking animal knows what it's dealing with. Like,
Fair point.
It realized that, oh God, this is Slender Man.
What?
Yeah, Will's true form. He's Slender Man.
I hadn't heard that one, but
wow. Will, you must be so honored you graduated.
I think this is actually the first time anybody's called me Slender.
If that's the case and he's Slender Man, by the way, Will, you should be pissed because from everything I've heard, the Slender Man movie was fucking trash.
Yeah, did you get any royalties from that?
Oh hell no! They don't take their Eldritch abominations don't get movie rights.
That's some bullshit.
I know, right?
Like that. You're not public domain. You're an actual being.
Apparently, I am. My life story is not protected movie rights. So
that's bullshit. Like that's fucked
Whatever.
up, my friend. All right, moving on to the next one. What are we doing?
What else was there?
Okay, there was help my in-laws are ruining the birth of my in-laws.
Yeah, how the fuck? Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
I am minorly intrigued.
Okay, I'll read that one then.
You have my curiosity.
Not my interest, but has my curiosity.
But will you have my full attention is another story.
Nice.
Almost nothing on this planet gets my undivided attention because my attention
Your
by
attention
nature.
span is not that long.
It depends. My attention span
Okay.
can be incredibly long, but it's
Well-
almost never undivided.
Maybe
All
you
right.
are. And I don't know. Maybe she-
It's a long one. Okay.
Oh,
Question: what is in a name? I'm about to give birth to my second child, and I'd like to prevent my in-laws from ruining my birth experience this time around. Ceiling bird.
I heard.
Sorry, I heard ceiling birds. This time around, when my son was born 2 years ago, my in-laws first met him over FaceTime due to the hospital's COVID restrictions. They had received a text with the baby's full name, details, an hour ahead of time, which should have been exciting news since he was their very first much-wanted grandchild. As my husband was showing off the baby, one of the first things they asked was, what sort of nicknames were we considering? When we brushed them off, they continued to press the issue, and it became clear that they were trying to come up with different names to call him because they didn't like the name we chose. His name is classic and easily pronounced. Think something like Harold. My mill then suggested we call him an entirely different name. At that moment, I was tired and upset at what they were saying, so I stayed quietly seething while excuse me, while my also irritated husband handled it. An hour later, a concerned cousin called to let us know that after they hung up, my in-laws began making fun of my son's name in front of the whole family.
What the hell?
Well, I'm going to cut in for that one. Sounds like you need to, I know some people were trying to say the whole thing of like, oh, if your parent votes for like Trump, you shouldn't let them see your grandkids. No, this is one of the few ones that if they can't have the basic decency and self-fucking respect in this instance for their goddamn grandchild, the grandchild doesn't need to be around them. And they don't need to be around the grandchild.
All right. Concerned cousin. All right. Asking things like, what were we thinking? It was upsetting for both myself and my husband, but we decided to focus on our precious newborn rather than confronting his parents. Well, we never really resolved it. 2 years later, they called him by his full name without using any unauthorized nicknames, and has, as far as we know, haven't been complaining about it to anyone else.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt you in this whole thing, but after the whole "what were we thinking" thing, I know I've been drinking, but does anyone else have that fucking One Country song where the chorus is "What was I thinking"?
What was I thinking?
Jeez.
I knew it's like this is what the grandparents be like. I knew what I was feeling. Dun, 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 but what was I thinking? Okay, I'll stop.
All right,
Oh.
I like 8 country songs. It's probably like more like a dozen or 2.
I'm aware that the best time. I'm aware that the best time to deal with this would have been within a few weeks of it happening, but instead, I let it fester inside me this whole time. The closer we got to the new baby coming, the more I wanted to say something to them. It is clear this issue is on my Mill's mind too, because she keeps asking about the name and suggesting her own ideas for names that she likes. We have very clearly told her that we do have several names in contention, but we won't be discussing them ahead of time. Excuse me.
Not your kid. You don't get to name it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much, and this one, and like it falls into that whole you kind of have to step to your parents type thing. Like, okay, I know most likely if let's just say somehow in the next year or so I end up meeting a good guy, a good woman, and we end up having a son, I'm most likely going to want my son's middle name to be named after my father. And sort of the same way my middle name is after my grandfather, but it's because I also have a lot of respect and admiration for my parents. So it's like if I had a daughter, I want either her first name or her middle name to be my mother's name. And that's all I'm asking.
My grandmother and I have the same middle name.
My middle name is my grandfather's first name.
Same with mine.
Yeah, like my middle name is Alexander, and
my daughter wants
Alexander.
her first daughter's middle name to be the same as my grandmother's.
You know, so I want to be a singer. So first kid's getting named after me.
I just don't think I could do that to my kid and any like a son. You know, have them be a junior, because it's not the whole fact of them being a junior, but then they at one point they're going to have to come to the realization that most likely their mother said their own name in the throes.
Oh no!
Oh shit!
You had to do that, dude.
Yes,
bravo.
Did you honestly think I wouldn't?
You sir have won the prize of the evening.
I at least tried to make it sound not as dirty.
Sound classy.
Yes, that's why with the throes of passion.
You are a scholar and a gentleman, and I would like to subscribe to your newsletter.
And you should write housewife porn.
Oh God, Terry's is amazing. My kid will be named Terry 2, Diamandis Boogaloo.
Yeah.
Fucking
shit.
A1 brilliant, my man.
Well, what better name?
Oh,
There isn't a better name.
that dude, that's awesome.
His nickname will be T2.
There you go.
Call him Judgment Day.
I was going to say Judgment Diamantis.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the kid will be queer, so it can be Judgment Gay.
Judgment Day.
Oh God.
That's like the subtitle.
Yeah.
And then when he gets into his adult years, it's going to be like late teens, early. It's like adult years could be T2 gay harder.
Yeah.
Oh no.
The gaiety returns. All right, let me finish. It's
Gay free or gay hard? Or live free or gay hard?
Hmm.
All right. How am I to ensure that we are... Sorry. How can I ensure that when we are in the hospital holding our brand new precious baby, the experience isn't ruined by my in-laws passively aggressively dissing their name? I'm furious every time I think about what happened. My idea right now is to send them a text when we are on the way to the hospital, something along the lines like, we aren't interested in opinions about the baby's names this time. and we would like you to follow the rules. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. As some added context, we originally did try to include my in-laws in the name choosing process, but my male in particular hated every name we suggested and didn't hold back telling us how awful those names on our list were. So giving her a heads up on the next name is not an option.
Not their kid, not their choice.
Yeah, there's always
kinda
one. There's always one more thing they could do as well. Is think of some of the names that their parents would hate the most. Just some straight up off the wall shit, and find your full fucking composure and say those names.
No, I think it's
Alizé and Chardonnay are great names, and I think we should have more.
no. It's really, really simple. All you have to do is send them everyone's favorite Filthy Frank song. Shut the fuck up. You're a fucking cunt. Shut the fuck up. No one even wants you here.
Wow.
The simple fact is there is absolutely no way you can guarantee that there won't be a repeat. Now, it sounds like the parents are at least somewhat conscious of what they did since things have toned down, but that's not a guarantee either. So,
Well, they've already started again, so clearly they didn't learn the first.
yeah. So, I mean, like the closest you get to a guarantee is don't involve them at all.
I agree.
Let them find out from another family member later, and don't answer the phone. I mean, I wouldn't want to be doing that to my parents or my in-laws, but well, no, my in-laws not answering the phone is probably the nicest thing I could do to them. That's another story.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, there's always.
I'll give
a
a small spoiler after the stream if we remember.
Okay.
Well, so you can always go with the whole thing as well of them of like, hey, Dad, remember how you used to say, your house, your rules, and because I'm your child, I have these things or whatever. And they'll be like, yeah, guess what? You don't have that option in this one because they're my child. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And keep quoting the song. It's a good song.
Every response they have, just be like, I don't know, man. Sounds kind of gay to me.
That sounds kind of gay.
Wow.
That
All
just look at him and be like, have you tried not being a faggot?
That is
Why
an
are you
excellent
gay?
advice. More people should try not being a faggot.
Wait a minute, Tari. Why are you gay?
I'm not. That's I made the right decision.
He's not gay, he's married.
All right. When it comes to people like
Why
this,
are you gay?
the question
Who says I'm gay?
you are
You are gay.
the question, how can I make sure they don't say anything that ruins my experience, is a tough one. Perhaps a better goal is how can I make sure I don't let the rude comments they're likely to make ruin my experience.
I love that the official reply was, "Have you tried not giving a fuck?"
That is serious.
You could also go in with the songs as well. You could use a song from Atreyu called "Blow," and you can tell them to fucking blow those words out the back of their head. I've had enough, and I'm done with that shit.
You can take. Look, I just wrote a single here. You can take your stupid ass comments and shove it right up your ass. There you go.
Okay.
That's the hook for my new single.
Look at the parking lot. Let's like bring him to the parking lot and say, "Behold, my field of fucks," and see that it is barren.
Behold my field of fucks.
We are all mean as fuck to the parents right now, and I'm loving it.
I think you should actually have a picture. I think you should actually have a picture of Trump's kid when you say my field is barren, and just there's a picture of barren Trump just standing there.
Oh,
have it in your hand with some double-sided tape on it, slam it on the window, and behold, bam, it is barren.
Yes.
Wait a minute. You had to say it in Old English, Gaze upon my field, which upon I grow my fucks, and lo, it is barren.
No, not it is Tisberry.
It's
You have
his
to-
Baron.
And you have to say it in low, and you slam your hand pushing the pitcher onto the glass. And as you pull it back, you would go to the open hand and say, "'Tis Baron." And they're going to look at you being like, "I don't get it," being like, "That's the fucking point."
Like,
Wow.
this family sucks.
I need a drink. I'll be back.
All right. Where was I? As
I actually almost feel for that gal. I mean, that's
yeah.
wow.
As I've written before, Slate doesn't pay me to say, how about decide not to take and not to care in response to people's tough problems. Plus, that's much easier to say than done. I get it. But seriously, is there any way you can decide to care a little less? It's just so hard to worry about controlling what other people might.
Have you tried not giving a fuck?
And
That's the only
honestly,
situation.
and honestly, you're pregnant. That's the last thing that you need to be worried about.
Yeah, you're trying to push life into this world. Like, you don't need this shit on your mind, especially when so much of your emotional energy is being used up bringing a baby into the world. Use the script you've written. Absolutely. Better yet, have your husband use the script. Oh,
See, if it wouldn't fuck up the kid's life, I'd say deliberately give them the worst name you can think of, like Excelsior. No. You had your
Dude,
chance.
I'd totally give my kid that name. That's a cool name.
Yeah, but most
My
people
dad
would
was always
disagree.
preferential to Igor Ichabod.
I would name
So
my kid Ichabod Crane because I like the name Ichabod.
I was really close to being Igor Ichabod Forge.
Real.
Well, I was closer to being Joanna because they wanted a daughter.
Ouch. My mother told me that my given name was going to be Henry at one point in my life, but she decided.
Here you go. You fuck with the parents and you say the kid's name is Amadeus.
Hmm.
No. Name the kid Dr. Zayas.
That's it, Dr. Zayas.
Oh, fuck.
Dr. Zayas.
That or Amadeus. Ooh, rock me, Amadeus. And they'd be like, why would you name him after a song? Oh, it's not because of the song. It's the song they were conceived to. What?
Oh,
I'm gonna name all my children around the song that we can see too. So
we're gonna call him Joe. Why? Because they've been going. Because if it hadn't been for Cotton Eye Joe.
I think you should legit name your kid Rotncorpse Jr. That'd be awesome. Just Rotncorpse is the first name, whatever your surname is the surname, and then Jr.
No. You you're spelling it wrong. His first name is actually Rot, and then N is his middle name, and then Corpse.
well, N would be the middle initial.
Yeah, middle initial. It stands for Rod.
Some people don't have a full middle name; they actually only have a middle initial.
That's so weird.
Yeah,
It's true,
Mom
though.
Forge. She doesn't have a middle name. They just gave her a letter. My grandparents were weird.
Tell him the name will either be Jack Me Off or Matt Jarbo. No. It's Miat Jarbo.
Some people don't have a middle name, even though their name is like Jean Paul.
Yeah,
Because John
and
Paul
some
is
people
actually
have like
different.
2 or 3 middle names.
I actually almost had 2 middle names.
Well, it's very common in Hispanic story circles because their names tell a family story.
Well, it's
They're
very
all-
common in Hispanic culture because they take their mother's maiden name and their father's name.
I couldn't do it. I'm happy with my one middle name, and my initials are kind of kick ass. Even though I would like to add a E to make it Jade, but
Oh, dude, I'll tell you right now, I'm glad that my first initial actually has a K, instead of a C, because then without a middle initial, my initials would have been CC, and I probably would have had to fight more people besides just my brother, who I'm going to be honest with you, in the majority of the people as he grew older did not want to tango with. Instead, it was just my dumbass because, well, he's my brother, and I got shit.
Really gonna take no shit from him.
Getting heavy.
I'm gonna get going. It's getting towards my dinner time, so I'll head out. Catch you guys later.
Later,
All right,
Terry.
time out.
Good night, Terry.
I
See ya.
forget your time zones changed again.
Yep.
Oh,
See you guys
that's
later.
right. Take it easy, Terry.
Yeah.
I mean, we are 2 hours in too.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we can stop. There it is. We are watching
Con Air.
Con Air.
Con Air, yeah. Put the bunny back in the box.
Tomorrow's movie is Con Air.
That's a great way to start the new year.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
Though technically my new year will probably start after the stream.
I'll just claim that anyway.
Yeah,
This is how my new year is starting.
You know,
Tyler's already in
hold
the
on,
new year.
hold on. Instead of that one, instead of looking at this is how your new year starts, this is how your new year ends, or your
Our
previous
old year ends.
Yeah.
That's even better.
I'm ending my year on a positive note. I may be dying of the flu, but I get to watch a kick-ass movie while I'm doing it.
And see him.
Please don't die of the flu. They'll call it a vid death and try and start another scare with it.
I'm not gonna die.
Gunsky
Good.
is
We like
doing
having you
Quippers
around.
tonight, so
Thank you.
bastard. Gunsky has family over.
I'm
That
not
goes
buying
to
it.
the
I think he's
Snickers.
just painting his room again.
I think he's playing wrong.
While he was painting his room, he did not miss Quippers. He just missed everything else.
He doesn't want his family to hear some of the jumps he makes. So it's okay. It's whatever, Gunsky. We understand. We don't like it, but we understand.
Some of the reactions some of his family members have had, I don't blame him. I know I've got some more distant family relations that I would not like listening to the show and recognizing my voice. On the other hand, the odds of them recognizing my voice are next to nothing. So
I won't lie to you. I'm pretty sure if my family heard some of the shit I get into and talk about, I still wouldn't give a damn though.
I'm actually pretty sure my parents would get a kick out of it. They'd laugh.
well, it's the for the most part, it's no big deal. I actually have a cousin whose kid shot their siblings. So I mean, family violence is not completely out of the picture.
Okay.
What? You are you related to Darkus and DeMarcus?
Not that I'm aware of.
What?
Lord.
Quick aside before we close out. There was on Christmas Day, two brothers, 14 and 15, got into an argument. The 15-year-old was pissed that the 14-year-old got better gifts than he did, more gifts or whatever.
Oh yeah, and we're here.
What the fuck?
So they started arguing. They go outside. The sister carrying her like 11-month-old baby goes out to talk to him. He pulls a gun and shoots her in the
Shoots
chest.
the
She's
baby.
fucking dead.
Shoots the sister?
Shoots the sister in the chest, kills her.
What the fuck?
The other brother comes outside, sees that his sister has been shot, and shoots the brother.
Well, I give him props for at least going defending his family, but
Did anybody take care of the poor baby?
I hope so, but the baby was fine. Mother's dead though.
Except that a lady that was holding, like, I'm sitting here going, unless she had time to fall slowly to death. That baby got dropped.
From what I understand, the news article said, or what I heard, baby was fine. Maybe the baby got dropped. I don't know. Maybe the baby was fine. Okay?
Baby got dropped in a snowbank.
Probably.
If outside in the cold, baby was probably wrapped up in 3 pounds of padding. So
well, it was in Florida, so you don't need to. Yeah.
Wasn't Florida, but down there, 50 degrees, 60 degrees is sweater weather. So kid was probably wrapped just this side of Eskimo.
But yeah, that's what happened over Christmas. Like I said, Gunsky isn't doing Quippers, but you can
Frosted's not doing the corner next week, Friday, so you won't see Terry there.
Yeah, you won't see Terry there. You'll see Terry.
Wait, he's not doing Quippers tomorrow? I thought it was the fall.
No, it's
tomorrow because of it.
So you won't find him there. You'll find Terry on Mr. Adams' Means Night with me and Kefk. You'll find him on Hammer's Means Night Wednesday with Hammer and Genty Maxie. You'll find him on where else? Johnny Hellcats. You'll find him on 6 of Silver Stream, Next 6 Minutes, and someone else. I can't remember. Oh well, come back to me later. You can find Andrea. When are you going to start the comic book curation thing?
Give me a break. I'm actually working on it.
I'm just asking. Well,
I say on this one. I say on this one for Angela's thing. Let's just wait to be pleasantly surprised.
I'll send you a notification as soon as the video goes up.
Yay!
I will bring up. I meant to make a video. I've actually got make now, and yeah, I got lazy over the week thing of like, I got to do this whole thing of reading comments, and then I didn't.
I may come to you to do some lines for me, not code, but just some lines, Rodden.
Okay.
And I may come to you too, Will, to do some lines.
Okay.
I'm starting to be offended.
Well, I mean, if it's not Coke, do I really want to be involved?
Man, I guess we can do some Coke afterwards, okay?
Maybe.
Wow.
We'll talk. Have your people call my people.
No felonies on the channel.
We do. Angela, I can't work under those constraints. Man. Stream Mom being Stream Mom.
Stream Mom wants to have a channel.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that's why I said a line of Coke. It's just going to be like a few Coca-Colas in a line.
Boom. Exactly.
Nice.
And a little blow.
And then he has to keep talking.
line of shot glasses and spike each one.
Will, you ever going to do some more creepypastas?
Oh yeah, I definitely need to do that again. I am going to, and maybe that's something I'll get into solid in the new year. I have to get off my lazy side, and because I enjoy doing the narrations, and I've actually got like one browser window that's full of tabs of like short stories that are in the public domain. So
you probably ought to just favorite them and make a folder just of those.
I probably should, but I'm guilting myself more by keeping a separate browser window open.
Well, that's probably blocking your fucking computer down some.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Will, show yourself.
Well, I've got my regular show on Twitch, twitch.tv/ it's Will It Forge. And I remember if it is with or without dashes. No, I can't, but let me check. Without dashes. And on Saturdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, I have an even odd schedule of art streams and game streams. So unless I have to call the stream because of illness or family event, it's going to be one of those. Even Saturdays are art streams. So the plan is next Saturday, starting the new year with art. I'm still in the season of painting on glass, which means I'm going to have to get more glass to paint on, I think.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
You should submit something to France. I think it's France for the Cathedral de Notre Dame, since they're looking to do it. I mean, at least then we can get
Your
something
stuff
better.
is beautiful. I mean,
I should well, it'd make more sense without the pumpkin. I should send them the cat goyle, but it makes more sense for a cathedral if it's not on a pumpkin.
huh?
What you should do is make a cat Pope cat.
Pope cat. That'd be one way to offend some of my family.
See?
Now you need to make it, if you're gonna do that, you need to make a cat Jesus on the cross.
Well, I mean, I did have a thought of going the full, I'm not in New York, I'm not from New York, but the whole New York art gallery offensive thing along the lines of like, oh, crucifixes and a jar of urine, stuff like that. But no, if I'm gonna offend a group, it's gonna be offending people that are likely to put a hit out on me. So I was thinking, what can you do with art using pubic hair and a certain
I got
prophet?
it. Mohammed Kitty.
Oh,
Mohammed Kitty.
I like kitty.
I don't want you to
Apparently,
get
whenever you're supposed to
blown
talk about
up.
the Prophet Muhammad, you're supposed to say peace be upon him afterwards. That's why I said Mohammed Kitty, peace be upon him.
Fish be upon him.
Oh.
No, I don't really go out of my way that much to offend people, but I can see the temptation.
I don't want you
Well,
to
when
get
it comes
blown
to-
up.
When it comes to talking shit about religion, I do that to good friends.
They'd have to find me first.
Yeah. Also, from what I will say as well, from everything I know of Islam, the religion itself, it can get fucked as well.
Yeah. I have no issue saying that. Yes. We will be back next Saturday. Same time. We'll be back to our regular programming. I will try to find a guest. If not, I will pull Will's ass back on the stream.
Yeah, just tell me beforehand who I'm being.
Okay. We'll get
What if-
back to.
We got no.
Will.
We are gonna create a whole new personality for you.
Oh, it's been a while since I've done that. That could be
We're gonna bring you in on it as well because this is a group. We can use the first 20 minutes, if not the show, just to flesh this thing out.
Oh yeah. Create a whole new individual.
trying to think how long it's been since I've crafted a completely personality.
I have several articles that we need to discuss. I'm not going to make us read the goddamn 100 things anymore. I wanna, but I'm not gonna do it.
I really appreciate
Hey, do it, but just do just do one of them.
Well, do between 1 and 3, and then
How about
Yeah,
5?
just-
I think we can survive 5.
well, it's a matter of how much it takes up on your show, and they're gonna get bogged down a little bit. So if you do them
Let's do this. We'll do 2 a show.
That works.
Going through how many? The first 10, right?
Oh, we've been through more than 10.
We're past 20, I think.
Okay,
I
so
believe we're pushing into the late 30s. Yeah.
Terry's like, do the rest of the article.
Of course, the monster.
If we want to struggle bus through it and try to push as many as we can before one of us decides we are that close to pulling the trigger, I'll openly admit I'll have stopped paying attention like probably 2 in.
All right,
Otherwise,
okay.
the reason I'm doing
I'll
2 is because we can. It's 2's quick. We can get through them, and it gives you a guaranteed thing to do each episode.
Okay, all right. We
And it gives you enough time to do asshole stories or prudence articles.
okay. That's fair.
Which
enough.
are the
All right,
fun
We'll do 2. We'll do 2.
parts of the show.
Yeah, just I'm not saying you should do it. I'm saying don't give up just on that rather than pace yourself. Because
Terry, why are you instigating?
Because
Terry
really
instigating.
just the thing is how much, because we can't just sit there and read the list.
Yeah.
It ends up being like 30 minutes of debate on each item on the list.
All right.
yeah,
Okay.
which is why you pace it. You say, okay, we're gonna keep doing it, but we're not gonna try and get through 5 in a night because there's 2/3 of your show or all the show. It's like, okay, we're getting through a couple of them.
All right. I can see that. Between 2 and 3. That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, if you say we're going to do at least 2, but we're not going to guarantee more than 2, and for some reason, okay, 2 takes 10 minutes. Okay, let's do a third.
All right.
And then the third takes an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, like I said at the beginning of the show, may you be at war with your vices, at peace with your neighbors, and may this year and every following year find you better than the last. I hope that 2024 is all your dreams come true, or you get close enough to them. You get to a better place. You find your true love. You do that one thing that you've been wanting to do all year long and just never got to. I want to thank everybody that has watched, me and these folks struggle and, act like idiots for a good part of a year.
Oh, don't struggle at acting like an idiot. That comes pretty naturally.
Yeah, that's true.
Have
I
you
was
never
gonna
heard?
say, have you met us?
Have you not heard me say that I am a mostly functioning idiot? Like I'm feeling more insulted now.
My bad. I'm sorry. I take it back. You guys have made this.
Oh, the acquaintance he
forgot. And don't you start
never
singing.
brought to mind.
What?
I mean,
All right.
I've always got something that can interrupt.
Here's one point. May the winds of fortune blow you. May you
May the
sail
winds
a
of fortune
gentle-
blow you.
May you sail a gentle sea. And may it always be the other guy who says, "This drink's on me."
That's a good one, Angela.
I can't take credit for it. It's actually an old Irish blessing.
Yeah, I know the one to where it's like supposedly like cheat death and some other shit and whatnot. I can't remember it.
The one I use is from Benjamin Franklin. So that's the one I use. So we're gonna get out here. I'm gonna play the outro.
Well, before we go, I want to. Okay, where is it? Just remember, this is also good time to remind everyone that in the 26 years WNBA has been active, they've never once turned a profit. It is literally a welfare program for super tall women.
or
What?
men pretending to be women.
As far as I'm aware, they don't have any trans women on there because they don't get the fucking views.
That's true.
Pretty much. It doesn't come with the fame, so.
We can go with the. Did I tell you guys the joke of how do narcissists change a light bulb?
How?
No.
They use gaslighting.
Oh, wow. Well done, sir.
All right, getting out of here.
Well, actually, the true joke is to say they don't. They don't change the light bulb because they use gaslighting.
Yeah, I know.
All right, let me click the button.
Full.
Bye, guys.
Later, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Happy.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, our show has come to an end. You will never get by me, Trust Panda. We'd like to thank our guests for joining us. We'd like to thank you for joining us. I will end your bloodline. You will not survive. We'd like to invite you to join us next week for the next installment of the show. You will never make it out of your life. I shall kill you.